Hello and welcome to another episode of Earth911's Sustainability in Your Ear. I'm Mitch Ratcliffe, your host, and we have another innovator interview for you today. We're speaking with Brandon Weiss, who is the Chief Innovation Officer of Dvele, which is a manufacturer and maker of prefab modular houses that you can customize. They range in size from 430 square feet up to 3,600 square feet, and start at about $180 per square foot. But these are very customizable homes where you can pick the design, where you can pick the specific finishes that you'd like. Brandon, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thanks, Mitch. Thanks for having me. I'm great.
Well, hey, tell us a little about Dvele. You've been there since the beginning, but became the Chief Innovation Officer last year. What is Dvele all about?
So Dvele, we have a production facility in Loma Linda, California, where we produce high quality, energy efficient, healthy homes in a controlled environment with full-time employees who are trained to produce our homes with an incredible degree of quality and attention to detail. And then we are sending these homes. We truck the homes to several sites, a lot of them through California. Currently, we also have projects in Colorado and kind of servicing the Western United States, but focus primarily at this point in the California areas. And have been doing some fire rebuilds up in Santa Rosa as well as Ventura with some spec projects of our own. And then we have client projects scattered throughout the state.
Now, these houses are built to passive house standards, and you've been involved in passive house standards for a long time. Tell us, how efficient are these homes overall compared to the traditional home that we would think of?
So our homes use about 70% less energy than homes built to the 2015 IECC building code. So it all starts with the conservation first approach, really with our building envelope and our building shell, making sure we have really good air tightness, really good insulation values, good windows, have a really robust building envelope. What that does is ensure that our building is going to last for hundreds of years and be a really durable, long-lasting building, which is the only way to get to sustainability, is building projects that actually last a long time. But beyond that, we also ensure that we don't have moisture happening within the walls, we don't have condensation, that kind of thing. So it's really designed to a high level of building science standards as well as the energy side. So we're looking at both sides of the equation, making sure it's kind of a holistic approach. And, then we start layering in the renewable technology, the solar panels, the battery backup systems. All of our homes are all electric. So that's another important feature. We don't bring natural gas or any kind of fossil fuels to the project directly. We make sure we're fully electrified. That ensures that we can actually be true net zero energy, which you can't get to if you have, fossil fuel or natural gas or anything attached to a building, because you can't offset that fracked natural gas energy with solar like you can your electric loads.
Now, these are, when we think of prefab houses in the old days, they were not always the greatest homes, but these are really solidly built and elegant looking homes. And your point about being built in a controlled environment is important, because the envelope and how you control the air coming in and out of the house, as well as whether there's moisture and so forth in the walls that might have gotten there during the construction process, rather than in this case, you put the house together and keep it all dry the whole time is essential to making a really efficient home. Now, you also have recently integrated solar panels with from Solar Flare, which are highly efficient. And is the result that you can be off the grid with this house if you wanted to be?
Well, so you could be, yeah, for sure, because we have decreased the loads pretty dramatically. So that's definitely more achievable than is in standard construction. However, what we're doing as our standard is we're calling the self-powered initiative. We have solar, which is photovoltaic energy production, and that is being routed into our battery systems. So we have solar and battery as a standard in our projects. And that battery is sized to back up critical loads like our ventilation systems, provides energy to the refrigerator, our steam oven, so you can actually cook in an outage, and then, lighting throughout the home, and convenience outlets. So, it's up to the owners how they conserve that energy and how long the outage is going to last. But, we have designed them so that, especially with what's happening in California now with, the utilities shutting down power, to prevent potential wildfire, the starting of those. So we want to make sure is that when they do that, our customers can live a normal, comfortable lifestyle during that outage situation. And any other kind of, I guess, unforeseen type of outage that could occur.
So the other benefit of a modular home is it can be built pretty quickly. How quickly can a home be built or go from design to build and completion?
So for us, we are once we have a permit in hand, we can build our homes and have it assembled and be ready for the occupants to be in within 6 months. So we like to say 4 to 6 months is our kind of time frame, but that 6 month is what we're now committing to.
And what's the process? How does somebody get involved and start thinking about the design of one of these homes? Should they start on the site and begin playing with the designs there?
No, I think, to us, what we wanted to do is create a really different experience for people. Typically building a home isn't the best experience of people's lives, but it's one of the most important assets of their lives, right? Mm-hmm. So that doesn't make sense. So we wanted to, bring those two things together and just offer an overall experience. And in doing that, really being that single source of accountability for a client is huge for us. So we have our own in-house design teams. We have a structural engineering team in-house. We do our mechanical designs. We construct or produce all of our homes in what we call our foundry. That's our production facility in Loma Linda. Mm-hmm. And then we also handle all the site work to put the modules together, set them, put them together, and get them ready, commissioned and ready for occupancy. So it's a single source of accountability that really provides a great customer experience from, starting the design phase to hello when they move in the home.
So you really have one point of contact. You don't have to try to manage 10 different construction people from different skills. You take care of it all.
No, that's correct. And yeah, if you're building a new home, you're managing many more than 10 people. It could be up to, 40 to 50 different points of contact to get a home built or more even.
Yeah. Now, how customizable are these? Can you get down to, I'd like to change the sink and things like that?
Well, it's pretty cool. We have this configurator on our website you can go to, and you can actually pull up one of our standard floor plans, and you could, pick your color palettes. And in doing that, we have preset palettes, and in doing that, you can kind of see photorealistic renderings of what those, kitchen or bathroom would look like with the different color palettes. So that's pretty neat. And then at the end of it, it spits out a price to you, so you know what your home is cost. So you can actually build it out like some car companies have been doing for years. Sure. We wanted to bring that kind of experience and get people a quick number on what a home is going to cost from us. That being said, we have those standards. We also are doing some more customized or alterations from those plans for clients at this point, being a young company. But as we go on, we're going to learn, what people are more so after, and be able to just offer more of our standards and offer standard modules that can be configured in many different ways.
So as the Chief Innovation Officer, what kinds of innovations are you focused on a daily basis in terms of materials or technology that you integrate into these homes?
Well, one of our, main foundations of our company is to never be complacent and happy with who we are. We continue to want to be the innovator in the industry and push forward the whole housing industry as a whole and the modular industry, right? So in doing that right now, our main initiative has been launching this self-powered homes initiative, the solar and battery backup, and making sure our homes can flow through all these outages and things like that. We're also working on and testing different types of fire resistant structures to try to boost even further our fire resistance. We are looking into furthering our seismic resiliency and anything really to create a really high level home and not high level in terms of just the level of finishes and everything, but the quality that runs throughout. What's behind the walls, what's in the walls, how is it connected to the foundation system? Looking at it really holistically to really we want to create the highest quality homes ever built.
Now, you also have been working with Sunflare to integrate these very efficient and low weight photovoltaic cells for the roofing. This looks like one of your biggest initiatives. How did the Sunflare relationship evolve, and where do you see solar going with regards to the integration in Dvele homes?
Well, solar is integrated in all of our projects, and we've been doing that now, going back before the code changed to January 1 of this year. We were doing that last year. So nothing new for us for that. We had partnered with Sunflare last year on some projects. Yeah, it's great. It works really well with our roofing membrane, being able to peel and stick basically to the roofing substrate or the finished roof, and so it looks nice and sleek. It doesn't have a lot of dimension coming out of the roof, and
yeah, also, it looks like the roof when you look at it. Yeah,
for sure. And it also some cool features of them is that they generate more power in low light, so dusk to dawn, rainy days, more than traditional silicone panels. They also have a lower temperature coefficient, so they generate more power during the heat of the day. Some panels lose their efficiency when they're baking in the sun, and these actually are able to kind of produce more throughout that part of the day. So that's great. And they have bypass diodes at every cell too. So when a partial part of the array is shaded, you don't lose your generation from the whole array, which is important, especially when you're trying to go to self-powered. You want to make sure you're producing from any area of the array that's in the sunlight.
So are these homes appropriate for a more northern latitude than California?
Definitely. We went through some rigorous examination and research and development on how we even designed our building envelope as a whole. And so we wanted to make sure we had a standard procedure so we could actually, manufacture these at a faster pace, but still keeping all the integrity and the level of quality we're looking for at Dvele. So that took some time to make sure, designing, we went through the process of designing several of our standard homes and then putting them in 7 different climate zones. And changing our values in exterior insulation and wall cavity insulation and roof insulation, until we kind of hit what we thought was going to be a sweet spot. So once we had those designs done, we plugged those into the FIAS Plus model, which is the Passive House Institute United States. It's their WUFI modeling program, which is a hydrothermal and energy analysis tool. And it's really one of the most, rigorous tools out there to explore how much what the efficiency of a building is going to be, and also at the same time assessing, is there a risk for condensation and wall cavities and moisture risk within the building structure or the exterior envelope. So it goes to durability or building science, which is really great, and also the energy side. So gave us 2 really important facets of our home. And again, putting those homes in those 7 areas, running those models, we were able to come up with our final building envelope, which is a really great shell that can work anywhere. So yeah, it can work down in San Diego, it can work in coastal Ventura, or it can work up in the North Bay of San Francisco area, or even up in Truckee, Tahoe, or out in Colorado at 9,500 feet. So yeah, our buildings do work everywhere, and they are really energy conscious everywhere they go. And so it's just a matter of having that conservation first approach, critical to what we do at Dvele, and then being able to scale in the solar PV and the battery systems to, again, get that self-powered going.
Now, you mentioned earlier the work you're doing in the California fire areas in Ventura and in Santa Rosa in particular. Tell us about the Skyview project, and how is Dvele helping those areas recover with modular homes?
So it's exciting. That Skyview project, we're going to have some buyers moving into that home here pretty soon, so we'll be able to really get better feedback on it. But everyone that's been through it gave rave reviews. It's a really great project, designed at a really high level, really connects people to the outdoor environment and beautiful views overlooking the valley there. And it meets all of our energy guidelines, our health guidelines. So it was a really important project for us, and kind of it was the first to launch this Dvele self-powered initiative, and being able to do this in a fire area where, again, people may lose power is important. But being able to help a community, we had the first house back on the market after the fire in Ventura that was fully complete. And we actually even offered it with furniture, knowing that, some of these fire victims that went through a really unfortunate circumstance, if they wanted to get back, living to some level of normalcy again, offering them a kind of turnkey solution was really important. So we did that, and we have our own interior furniture design and interior design team too that designed that thing and put all the furnishings in there, and it looked really fantastic.
So if somebody lost everything, they had the opportunity to have everything back when they finished this project. Right.
The great thing is, that the homes that we're providing there are of a much higher level of quality and durability and energy than what was there before. So, the circumstances there were really terrible, and feel really bad for everyone that had to go through that. But, in us rebuilding the area, we want to make sure we do it at a better and use it as an opportunity to improve what was there and make it a more environmentally conscious area based on the buildings we can build there. And we can really scale and provide lots of buildings at a very quick pace there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that these things have to happen, but that also provides a clean slate for a community to rethink itself in terms of fire resiliency and energy efficiency. So it's remarkable that you guys are able to deliver things so fast. So
yeah, and there's been some cool case studies of that too, throughout the country. I know, there was a terrible tornado that happened. I think it was in Kansas somewhere. It was Jackson, and they came back and rebuilt the whole town to LEED standards back in the early 2000s when LEED was really new, and we're really early adopters of that. So it's one of those things. You use it as an opportunity to kind of elevate everything.
As you look out at the future of housing in the United States and around the world, but let's start here. How do you see homes and housing evolving over the next 10 to 15 years? What do you think the key trends are going to be?
Well, definitely, there's the push to decarbonization. I think that's going to be huge. You see even the major banks at this point and some of the big oil companies talking about stranded assets and that, in the short near term here, we're going to be, leaving those in the ground, even though they know where they are and they have the rigs already set up. That's just not going to make financial sense to pull those out. So renewables are on the upturn for sure. And, more and more people are going to have to adopt those. Like we see in California, it's currently the code to have solar PV on your roof of new construction homes. So that's going to, flow through the country, and we're going to see more and more adoption to that. And prices have just dropped immensely in solar, and we see the same thing happening on the curve with batteries right now. So, there's definitely a push to decarbonization, and we'll see that. We'll definitely see the energy codes increasing, so building envelopes and windows becoming more robust as we go here in the next, 10 years to 2030. That's going to change. And what's cool about Dvele is that we're already building to what those codes will be of the future. We've taken our installation to that level that we know we're comfortable with, and that it's not going to be a point where the codes are going to exceed what we have built and make our homes obsolete, which, you see even current homes in all states that when they adopt a new energy code, if they started before energy code was adopted or actually started being enforced, then the houses finish and they're already not up to code. They're already obsolete by the time the people move in. So that's a real disservice to clients and everyone. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen. So that was important for us. But we see the energy codes increasing and that, envelopes become more robust. And then definitely the health and wellness, push has been in many different industries at this point. And that's one of my main passions, and been, researching that, pretty intensely for the past 11 years at this point. So we definitely are making a big push into the health and wellness segment too, and have a really great product for people that are health conscious. But I think more and more will come into that play. And you see even, other builders, they might have low VOC paint or something and start saying they're building healthy homes but we'll see more and more actual real healthy homes coming on the forefront.
And healthy homes that are going to last, which I think is really the thing that I came away from reading about and looking at the Dvele designs is these are homes for generations, not just for the next generation. And compared to homes that were, say, built in 95 that don't even stand up to current environmental standards, these are homes that you can invest in and be confident that you're going to be net zero from the beginning and stay there.
Right, for sure.
Well, hey, Brandon, this has been a fascinating conversation. Thanks very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you, Mitch. It's been great talking with you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Well, folks, that was Brandon Weiss, who is the Chief Innovation Officer with Dvele. You can find them at dvele.com. That's DVELE.com on the web, and check out the houses. It's a lot of fun to play with them. This is Mitch Ratcliffe. Earth911's Sustainability in Your Ear is what you're listening to, and we'll be back with another innovator interview soon. Take care, everybody.